Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Thalia's Boon. Where we last left off, our adventurers were leaving the quiet fishing town of Helby to head to Dragonrend, to register as an official guild and seek out greater adventures. Before they leave, however, Mayor Higgs, a portly old dwarf and Helby's mayor for life, asks if they could deliver a letter to the Baron of Ravenhill. It would add a few days onto their journey, but they'd get paid handsomely for it, so the party agreed.
What could possibly go wrong?
As they travelled along the river, the party share stories of their previous lives before coming to Thalia. Armless tells of how he misses his father, Elar, and twin half-brother and sister, Tori and Virik, but not so much his super judgmental stepmother, Elva. Armless's human mother had died in childbirth, and being the only half-elf in his hometown, had felt like an outsider all his life. So now he was travelling to find himself and see where he could fit in. Dawson explains that he used to live in the Underdark, and that he came to the surface world seeking adventure, but didn't really go into much more detail than that. Maeth recalls his time living with his clan in the high ice far up north, under the cruel leadership of Kuras Solkris. Tired of having his life dictated by clan rule, Maeth set out to discover a new way of life for himself. Paige can't believe that she's actually left Helby and is seeking out new adventures. She hopes that her mother will be okay without her. The others reassure her, and they enjoy the idyllic scenery as the days go on. As night fell on the third day of travel, the boat came to a small port by a construction lock, where a junction was being built to connect the river to a canal, but there were no workers to be seen. On closer inspection, the party noticed drag marks in the dirt leading to the canal edge, and as they peered into the water, they saw the cold, dead eyes of the workers who had been tied up and dragged under to drown. Suddenly, a group of Koatoa burst from the water and attacked the party. After a scuffle, Armless and Maeth are dragged overboard, and Dawson dives under to help them while Paige checks on the boatmen, making sure that they're safe. In a pitch-black cave, Maeth, Armless, and Dawson fight off the remaining Koatoa, who are intent to sacrifice them to their god, which was a stuffed teddy bear head on top of an old boot that started dishing out radiant damage. Fun fact, after years of torture at the hands of creatures known as mind flayers deep in the Underdark, many of the Croatoa have gone insane. They make up their own gods, and if these gods are worshipped hard enough, they become real. After fighting off the Koatoa and swimming back to the boat, the party quickly sail away to safer waters and camp for the night. The next day they arrive at Traveller's Point, a trading port where the river splits in two. From there, they head east towards Ravenhill, the city of clerics. Along the way, the party come across a dwarf named Dane, who's travelling from Ravenhill to Dragonrend with his family. The dwarven blacksmith informs them that strange things have been happening in the dwarven stronghold of Karnarek, further down the road. A few months ago, people had started going missing, and days later, returning, their bodies horribly mutilated. The dwarven citizens started blaming a mind flayer known as Create, who specifically fed on dwarves. Now, Dane pointed out that yes, although mind flayers are real, Create was made up just to scare children, like a boogeyman story you tell around a campfire. When more and more people had been showing up dead, the dwarven citizens panicked and fled to Dragonrend, leaving their home abandoned. Dane had decided to take his family to Ravenhill, but after a few weeks, the murders had started happening there too. Spooked and wanting to keep his family safe, he was now heading to Dragonrend to meet his brethren. While Armless was out hunting food for the party, because his player couldn't make that session, Maeth, Dawson, and Paige checked out Karnarek. Searching the abandoned underground city, the party found the victims, their bodies skinned alive and stretched over straw dolls with black arrows jutting from the hollow eye sockets. As they ventured deeper into the underground city, they were ambushed by a group of kobolds, putting our heroes in a difficult spot. Dawson, thinking quickly, takes off his magical hat to reveal that he is actually a kobold called Creek. Get it? Dawson. Creek. Dawson's Creek. Anyway, understandably, this sudden reveal caused everyone to kind of stop and start talking. Turned out that these kobolds were not responsible for the brutal murdered dwarfs, but they'd come up from the Underdark, found the city abandoned, and had made it their new home, and been living there ever since for the past couple of weeks. Still curious as to what might have done this to the dwarven citizens, the party ask if they can look around a bit more. The kobold clan leader agrees, figuring that if there is a monster, they can take care of it or die trying, and that'll get rid of them for trespassing. As the wounded party travelled deeper, tending to their wounds as best they could, Creek tells the others that he used to be a member of a Cobalt clan known as the Cragmores, until they were wiped out during a battle between Deep Gnomes and Drow in the Underdark. Being the lone survivor, he was found by a small adventuring guild known as the Silver Hands, who also later all died while fighting an aboleth, basically this giant psychic murder fish. And ever since, he'd been hiding in shame, disguised as his former guild leader. This news, understandably, did not really inspire the others with great confidence. However, they were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and keep trusting him. After snooping around the empty city, it was clear that whatever had attacked the dwarven citizens was no longer around. Now all they had to do was make it back past the kobolds alive. But figuring that the kobolds wouldn't let them live, the party pulled a sneak attack of their own and decimated their enemy. With the enemies dead and the severed head as proof that Karnarek was now clear of hostiles, the party left, and Armless returned to find them soaked in blood. While the others had been dealing with the kobolds, turns out Armless had been having his own adventure with the spirit of the field, Trostaninoth. After accidentally shooting the stag, which turned out to be this enormous spirit creature, Trostaninoth had given Armless an opportunity to redeem himself by clearing up some kobolds that had been hunting in the local woods. Together again, our heroes finally head to Ravenhill, but what new dangers await them? Well, dear viewer, you'll have to wait till next time.